一点啊。我想这个例子都蛮简单的，这样。Okay, let's go back to our project. Here, let's check out the project folder and the main layout. You can see here, under the component tree, there is the warning message for the button, right? You will see the problem is hard-coded. That's right, because the lower, I type the message directly into the button, okay? So we can extract the text into a separate file. Okay, you can open the explanation and click the fix the problem, extract, stream the resource. Okay, just follow the suggestion and click the OK. 就是他的建议，把这个 ROL 这个字，把它抽出到 string.xml 这个档案里面来，变成一个独立的一个 string variable. Okay, so the problem is solved. Let's we open the project folder. Here is a main activity.kt. Okay, or the main program code. Suppose you have a I randomly rearrange my code, make them very unclear. 假设我这边把它弄乱一点 I want to reformat the code. Okay, you want to do the reformatting. Angel Studio provide auto the formatting. Okay, that's quite easy. Let's select the edit, select all, may select the order program code, and from the code menu, you can locate the reformat code. Okay, you will see the auto formatting. Okay, make your program code become easy to understand. 就会自动排版了自动排版的功能。Okay, so that's quite easy to for such app. Let's go back to next step. The next step, we want to change the text view using the image view. Okay, so I want to let's hide the project folder, and here we have text view line. We need to delete the text view and add an image view here. So we simply delete the text view, select the text view, okay, and press the delete. Okay, and then from here we need an image view. Drag the image view to this position. Image view. You will see the Angel Studio will pop up a window let you pick a resource for the image. Okay, so you can randomly select a sampled image. For example, I select this one. Okay, so that's a sampled image for the image view. Okay, here the next thing is that we need to add the layout. We need to add the constraint. Okay, because here we use a layout constraint. So for this image view, we don't have the constraint. Just like the previous text view, the text view is put at the center position. So for this case, we need to add 4 constraints. For the top, for the bottom, for the left, for the right, add 4 constraints. Then the image will put at the center position. So we do this thing. Bottom constraint, left, and the right constraint, and the button from here to here. Okay, here means the parent or mean the screen. Okay? From here to here. Sorry, too fast. From here to here. Okay, so by adding 4 constraints, the image view will locate at the centered position of the screen. Okay, so let's see my setting. The second is the button. The button. Okay, the button. Originally, the button, the top constraint, we set the top constraint just below the image view line. So let's try to remove my button from here to here. Okay, here, because previously I removed the text view, so the button constraint, the top constraint just disappear because I delete the text view. Okay, so after I add the image view, we need to add the constraint back to the button. So I need to add the constraint from here to here, here to here. Okay. However, you will see the button and the image view are quite close. So I need to set the margin. The margin is for the button. Okay, button. You can see the top constraint. The margin default is 0, right? We can set the margin to be, for example, by 16. Check on the screen. When I set the 16, yeah, you can see the lower button, the gap between the button and the image view will become the 16. Okay, so that means the set the margin. Set the margin. Okay, and also the next thing I want to specify the size for the image view. Okay, so let's check that's about the layout width and layout height. By default, that's web content. Web content. What's the meaning of web content? Web content means the size is based on the image content. When you load a large image, the image view becomes also the large. When you load a small size image, the image view also becomes the small. So that's mean the size will just match the image content. Okay, that's not what we want. We hope the width and the height has a fixed value. 我们希望把这个长宽设成固定的啊，这样比较不会因为载入不同大小的图片变来变去。Okay, so here I want to set a fixed value. We can directly keep the type the number. For example, I hope the width to be 100, the 60, the unit is dp. Okay, and the height to be 200 dp. 设成200 dp. Okay, here is our setting. And after the setting, we need to change our program code. Okay, so let's see the image view. The image view, the ID image view. Okay, and we check the button. The ID is the button. So let's go back to our project. The main program here. We will see some red color, that's the error message. Because in our previous program code, we refer to the text field. However, we already delete the text field. Okay, so here we need to change the variable to be diced image. For example, I use a new variable name, diced image. That's image view. Okay, remember to change the data type to be image view. Find view by ID. We want to find the image view. The image view is one. Okay. And the next thing is we need to set the image file to the image view. And here in my drawable folder, we don't have the diced image. You can check my slide. My slider. From here. Okay, here I provide the download link. Okay, you can simply click the button and download the image. And I already download image into my file folder. About this one, the diced image. Okay, that's all the diced image. Contain the 6 PNG file. So next thing is we want to import these 6 images into our drawable under the drawable folder. Next time I said we can simply drag, select the image file and drag them into the drawable folder. Okay. However, here I show the second way. The second way is we open the resource manager. From here, you will see the left-hand side. You will see a sidebar panel that locate the one resource manager. Click the resource manager. Okay, and here we can manage all the resource. And I want to add a new resource. So we click the plus button, add a resource to the module. And from here, we select import drawable. Okay, import drawable file. And let's wait a moment. Okay, from here, I locate my dice image directory. Okay, here I just select its 6 image file and then select open. Okay, so that's the dice 1, 2, 3 to 6, and click the next. Oh, sorry. So all these 6 files will be imported under the drawable directory. So that's the import. Okay, so you'll see let's close the resource manager and the project folder, and under the drawable subfolder, you will see the dice1.png, dice2 to the dice6 png. Okay, so we want to display the image file here. So how do we set the image file? That's quite easy. Dice the image. We call the method function set image resource. This one. Set image resource. X by the image resource ID. So that's R. Actually, for example, I want to show the dice1.png. That's quite easy. Because the dice1.png is under the drawable. So we use the other index file, R dot, under the drawable line. Drawable dice the 1. Okay, so let's test our program. No matter what number we get from the dice, we always display the dice1 image. Okay, let's run our app, open the emulator. Okay, let's press the lower button. You will see that's dice 1, right? The top face is a number 1. So that's dice 1. And the press more button is always 1 because our program style. Okay, so let's fix the problem. We need to show the corresponding dice image based on our load number. 我们要依据实际的点数来抓出对应点数的图片出来。Okay, so here you can see we will show the message meaning the condition decision. Okay, based on the dice law. Okay, so here I show the one possible way here. When we use something like the switch case. However, in coding, we use the when statement. Lower dice, dice the lower, that's the number what we get, right, from this variable. Based on the value, we need to load the corresponding images file. So our program code may look like this one. If the dice roll, the number is 1, we need to set the image, load the dice 1 image, right? If that's 2, number is 2, right? Easy, we load the dice to the image. Something like that, right? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. However, using this way, we will call the dice image set image resource several times. Okay. So let's check another way. We rely to use another way. We simply, based on the dice load number, we will record the corresponding image resource ID. Okay, so here I use a variable for the global resource. Global resource is equal to when I just remove the code here. Okay. Delete. Okay. So let's see. Okay. So let's see my new program writing. When dice the roll. So if the number we get is the number 1, so that means the case 1, we will return the drawable dice 1 and return the value to the drawable resource available. Okay, so if that's the 2, we can change our program style to be 2, okay, and so on. Okay, expression is called the when expression, using the when to return one value based on different cases. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so based on the number, we will return the correct image file name. Actually, that's not image file name, but the image resource ID. Okay, return the value. However, you will check the when here, the keyword already has a red color, red line. That's an error message. You will simply move the mouse over here. You will say when expression must be is hosted. Okay, because here we use a when expression. When expression can return the value. For this case, we need to show all the cases. As I note, the dice number is always among the 1 to 6. Okay, so we can change my last statement to be else. Okay, this means if the number is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and for else cases, all of them will return the 6. Okay, so the error message will disappear. Okay, so that's we record the resource ID into the variable. So the next line becomes quite easy. We just set the drawable resource, okay, to be the image resource. Okay. Okay, so that's all the program code. Let's try to run our app, open the emulator, and play again. Okay, let's play lower. That's 3, and that's 5. Okay, so you will see based on the different number we get, we will show the correct image. Okay, so that's the dice loader app. 这样有没有问题？好，这是很简单的设计而已，好吧？Okay, let's go back to my slide. Here, we go to here. In this slide, I just want to show how to do the testing. Okay, I want to make sure our provided function can work correctly. So here we need to do the unit test. Unit test is here is for the function. So also that's also mean I want to do the function test. I want to make sure some certain function we defined work correctly. Okay, so let's see how to do the unit test. 我们来看一下怎么做单元测试啊。Okay, you want to do the reformatting. Okay, select the code and reformat the code. Okay. 好，那我们回到这个project folder. Project folder. Remember here you will see the two green colored folder. One is Android test. That is for UI test, and the test is for unit test. So let's open the test folder and open this file. Example unit test. Double click. Okay, so that's by default. The default unit test provided by the Android Studio. The Android Studio say, I already provided one function. You can do the testing. The testing code should look like this. Function, test the function name, and the annotation, we add test. That means the test. We want to test the function. Okay. Here you will see a run the button. This means I want to run the testing. So what the tester does, you will see the test just to make sure 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. Okay, that's quite easy. Okay, so we can run the test and select run the test. And then wait for the testing. Okay, you will see a correct. Okay, we pass the test. You will see the green colored message that show we pass the test. So let's see how do we write our own test. We can just follow the example code. We use add a new test. Okay, and here I want to test a new function. Suppose the two function. Yeah, I want to test my dice load function. So here you can refer to my slide. Yeah, generate number. Okay, I want to test my dice class. Okay, so here I want to generate one dice with 6 sides, and here load result. I want to get the raw number. Call the load value. Okay, so here I want to make sure for each time when I call the load function, the returned value should be between 1 to 6. So here I want to do the checking. The checking is called assert. Assert. So I get assertion. 啊，做一个检测的叙述叫做 assert. Assert true. I want to make sure this checking is always true. That's called assert true. Okay. If the checking is violate, we need to show the message. So that's the first parameter. We can say the value. The value is not between 1 and 6. Okay. So that's our error message. And the checking is here. Lower result. I need to make sure the lower result is always between 1 to 6. We use the in operator. Okay. In Kotlin, we can do the range checking using the in. Okay. So that's our condition. So if the load result is in 1 to 6, then we pass the test. If the value is, for example, become the A or the 10, then the test will fail. When test fail, we will show the message here. Okay, so let's do the testing. Press this button. I want to simply text this function. We'll check. We just pass the test. Okay. How about I change the condition? For example, I set the load value, load result to be fixed value to be 10. Okay, so 10 will violate the condition. So let's do the testing. So we'll see a test fail. Okay. The test fail because we just violate this condition. Okay, so that's called a unit test. Okay. So it depends on you. If you define or write so many the method function, you can try to do the unit test. Okay, and make sure each function work correctly. 这个是所谓的那个函式模组的检测啊，Okay, so that's unit test. Let's go back to my slide. The next one, I want to introduce how to do the debugging. Okay, 我们来看一下怎么去有关于除错的技巧。Okay, close the window, and here change to the regular app running. Okay, so here I want to show the debug. Okay, how to do the debugging. For example, I want to make sure, or I want to monitor this number. Okay, the dice lower. I want to observe this variable. Okay, one way is something like we write the print message to display the value on the screen. However, in Android, we cannot use a print. We need to display the message into the system log, and the system log is called a logcat. Okay, so how do we log a message into the system log? We need to call the special function called log. Okay, system log function. Typically, we use show a debug message. Okay, so we use the log.d. D means the debug message. Okay, the first parameter is a tag. For example, I use a main activity. But you can give any the tag name. Is depend on you. Okay, the first parameter is any the tag name. The second parameter is the log message. Okay, so what we want to display is the second parameter. Okay, for example, I want to show the message. You lower the number. I want to show the number here. You will lower the number here. This means I want to display the variable into this string. So here I need to use a string interpolation. Remember in Kotlin, we use a $, and dice the lower. Okay, so this value will be showed here. Okay, so that's called logging. Okay, log a variable the value into the logcat. Okay, so let's run the app. Open the emulator. Okay, let's press the lower button, show the number 3, right? And where is the locked cat? So here we need to open the locked cat. Okay, you see so many the message showed here. So we need to do the filter. To do the filtering, because I provide the tag, right? Tag, right? So here we need to, and also that's for debug, for debug message. So we need to use the D for debug message slash and the tag name named activity. Activity. And sorry, activity. Actually, when you pass through the typing, you will see I already checked my locked messages here. Okay, so that's D because I use the debug message. Slash here is a tag name. You roll the number 3, right? So here mean the dice roll the number is 3 here. Okay, so that's for debugging. I want to dump the variable value into the locked cat. Okay, so either you can use this way to do the filter. Let me show another way. Another way is select here. I want to set the tag name. Okay, setting the filter configuration and giving any filter name. For example, the filter name is the main PDP. We can arbitrarily give the filter name. And here, set your filter criteria. For example, I want to locate any the locked message we tag. Name is main activity. Okay, and select OK. Right, you will see our locked message will be filtered out. Just will remain our locked message here. 这样就是另外一种过滤的一个方式。Okay, so that's for dump the variable into the locked cat. That's the first way. Okay, go back to my slide. 第一个技巧 The second technique is use a breakpoint. Use a breakpoint. OK, 另外一个是断点，这个大家也用过。OK, let me show how to use a breakpoint. For example, I want to trace this function code. Okay, so I simply give a breakpoint. For example, I give a breakpoint at this line. So at this position, simply just beside the line number, click the mouse. You will see a red circle. That means that's a breakpoint here. 这边有一个断点。Okay, let's debug our app. So this time we cannot play the run. We need to select debug. So from the run menu, we need to select debug. Okay, not run. We need to debug. Debug the app. Okay, you will wait for the debugger to enable. Okay, and press the lower. We will see, we will go into this function, stop here, okay? Because here we set a breakpoint. After setting breakpoint, we can run the program called line by line. So that's called stack over, okay? Just like other programming language, when you do the tracking, you can use the step over or the step into, okay? So also, when we trace our program code, we can monitor some of the variable. The variable is automatically showed here. Okay, this means from here, what variable we can observe is for those one. For those variables displayed here. For example, here you can see a dice variable here because we have a dice variable, and another variable is the dice roll is for this variable. And the current value is 3. Okay, so that's called by using the breakpoint, you can stop at any position, and from there we can step by step to trace our program code 啊，一步一步追踪。我想这个大家都没问题啊。好 ，How to remove the breakpoint？ Then we select the breakpoint again， 这样就会 remove 掉了，好吧 ？Okay, that's for removing the breakpoint。好，那我们再 Let's try another case. How about for some situation, maybe your app, when you run the app, the system may crash or show some error message. 好，那我们来模拟一个系统会乱掉的情形。For example, I set the resource to be 100. Okay, actually there are no resource. The number is 100. Okay, so I just simulate the app will crash. 来执行一下。Okay, press more. You'll see the app crash. Okay, and how do I check the app crash? You can open the run tag, and you will see so many red colored message. That's error message. When you trace back, you cannot see what's the major reason to cause the app crash. For this situation, we need to go back to the very initial message. 碰到这种问题，你要往前推At the very beginning, you will see the reason. Okay, you will see they'll have some factor exception happen in your main program, and your app is running on the process ID shown here. And the major reason is actually this line. We cannot find resource not found exception. We cannot find a certain resource ID. Okay, so that's the major reason. Maybe you want to know in which program line the error happened. Okay, because our program written in Kotlin, so you need to check the Kotlin line number. Okay, so not this one is for Java, and here the main activity.kt is our main program. The line number is 51. Okay, so let's go back to our main activity. 51 is here. Okay, so that's the program line that caused our app crash. 导致那个当掉的就是这一行，Okay, so when you found such situation, just follow this way to find the possible reason. 啊，把这个原因把它找出来。好，把它改回去。Okay, here I simply check my program. You can see when I run the app. At beginning, no any dice image, right? That's little strange. After I click the load button, I show the load image. So here, to solve the problem, when we launch the app, we need to show the first load result. So we let the app automatically generate one load number. So we simply call the load function load dice. Okay. By default, load dice is triggered when the user taps the button. However, when I create the app for the first time, I call the load dice once. Okay, so that will generate the initial image. 啊，我自动让它执行一次，这样就会 let's run the app. Okay, when we launch the screen, we will get one load result. Okay, because we automatically call the load dice function. 啊，这样就会自动第一次就会生成一张图片出来。Okay, let's go back to my slider. Okay, so that's all the dice loader. 啊，这样各位有没有问题？没有问题。Okay. Maybe you can do a simple exercise by yourself. That's not homework. You can change the dice roller. Here we have one button, one the dice. You can change the app to have two the dice, single the load button. When you press the button, you will get two random number and one for each dice. 啊，你可以回去自己把这个改看看，把一个骰子把它改成一次显示2个骰子的内容。That's for your exercise, not homework. Just do the exercise by yourself. 啊，这个你们自己可以练习玩看看这样。OK， 我们这边再休息一下好了，好不好？啊 ，Let's take a break for 10 minutes. If you have any question, you can ask me. 如果你有问题，就问我一下哈。